Attention passengers, this is your conductor speaking. We are about to arrive at the hesitation station. Please mind your step as you enter the station.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming back to the Hesitation Station podcast. We greatly appreciate you guys being here and just listening to our shenanigans. I am Jay with my co-host Tank. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Good. How was your week?
It was a long week, sir. Found out a lot of things, going through a lot of stuff, but I will survive.
Yeah, it has been a long week. I'm happy it has ended, and then we got to repeat it all over again.
I blame you. Your
Why
fault.
do you blame me?
I can't blame my wife.
That's fair. So, everybody, we got a special guest here today. And I'm going to give y'all a little hint before I introduce them. So, let's see if I can't do this. When people know that there will be an end, they entrust. It's like with everything and houses and buildings we construct. Do y'all know that? Do you know that?
You just confused the hell out of me.
That's one of the quotes. It's one of the quotes, Mr. Tank.
You know I don't do well with quotes.
Okay. Anyway, we have Mr. John Swasey from My Hero Academia. He plays a lot more. We'll touch on that. But here he is.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
How you doing?
Doing
Wait,
good. How are you?
Where's the?
I'm doing very well here. I'm relaxing in my mega mansion getaway. As you all know, anime voice actors live in houses made of solid gold.
Oh.
And we drive solid gold cars that run on gold gasoline.
Gold gasoline.
I was wondering why the wall was so shiny.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is we need to be a voice actor.
That's right. Right. If everyone were an anime voice actor, everyone would be rich.
We are in the wrong line of work then.
No, to be honest, that is a virtual background. My hotel room looks like garbage. So we don't want to see that because we don't live in solid gold houses. There's just this, it's funny when you meet fans sometimes. They're just like, you must just be rich. And I'm like, no, not really. No, I'm not. I wish, but I'm not. I'm rich with love.
Hey, that's okay. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing at all. I'm very blessed. I do have a nice house. I mean, it's, nothing fancy, but it's a nice house, and I got a family. I'm actually at a convention right now in Oklahoma. And my daughter, Olivia Swasey, is also a voice actor, and she is actually joining me on the convention. So, but little fun fact, this is one of the fun things about going to conventions that I think is we get to travel all over the country, all over the world sometimes. But she got a message from a friend of hers from grade school. That was her best friend in grade school. And she said, when were you going to tell me you were coming to Oklahoma? And she was like, oh, my God, I totally forgot you moved 11 years ago to Oklahoma City. So they're having coffee right now.
Nice.
And, okay.
So it's all good. But yeah, so this is not my real house. I don't play the piano. If it were in my real house, you would actually see guitars behind me hanging on the wall. So,
oh, you're a guitar player. How long you been playing guitar?
I've been playing guitar for about 45 years.
I think he's got me beat.
Yeah, I know he's got me beat.
I bet you anything you're a better guitar player than I am.
No, I don't play guitar. I just learned. I just picked it up, and I'm doing YouTube videos right now. I'm actually a drummer.
Oh, well, that's
So,
cool. But
yeah.
you understand music.
Yes.
And I've been playing the guitar for 45 years. And I, too, am now studying. I'm working with a teacher out of California doing virtual lessons or, streaming lessons, and also picking stuff up on YouTube. Because I can play the guitar. I'm a big Deadhead. I love the Grateful Dead and all things jam band.
Mhm.
So I can I play a lot. I can strum a lot of songs. I can't play lead, which is
Yeah.
what I really want to learn how to do.
Yeah.
And so that's learning the scales, but it's not just learning the scales, it's practicing the scales so you get the muscle memory in your fingers so you can just go from, major pentatonic to a mixolydian to a minor pentatonic all up and down the neck and understand how they're all connected,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to learn. So
Wait,
it just takes practice.
Are you a fan of Pink Floyd?
Oh, I love Pink Floyd.
Okay, good. I was about to say, how are you going to be a fan of Grateful Dead and not Pink Floyd? Hold on now.
No, Pink Floyd, Beatles, Grateful Dead, Allman Brothers.
I love the Allman Brothers.
I love the Beatles.
Smaller band like Widespread Panic, Fish, Moe, Mr. Blotto. There's a ton of them. But I like Little Feat. I like Johnny Cash. I like Willie Nelson. I like a lot. I really particularly like jam band stuff. So.
Yeah. There's one that you may not have heard of. Have you ever heard of they're older, Marshall Tucker Band?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What you see?
Yeah. Yep. I played that at work the other day, and they're like, "Who is this, Jay?" And I'm like, "How do y'all not know who this is?"
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I know. That's a sign that I'm getting older when I'm like, somebody will say, because I've got this, you can see this Grateful Dead tattoo.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
I don't know how to position the camera, but anyway, it's a Grateful Dead tattoo, and I'll show somebody that, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool, Care Bears."
Care Bears.
Not Care Bears, man. They're Grateful Dead dancing bears, and they're like, "Grateful Dead." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I think I've heard of them." I'm like, "Well, either you have or you haven't. There is no think." It's like Yoda.
Yeah.
There is only no. So anyway, but yeah, that's what I like.
I will tell you, people have an artistic mind. They just don't know it. So, for example, I got this tattoo. I know y'all can't really see it very well, but it's Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, and it's all of them put together. And I had my coworker tell me, "That's Jack Skellington." Like, what? And there's the head, there's the hands,
I see it.
there's
Yeah,
the
I
body,
can
and
see
I'm like, fuck. I'm just like, now I see it, and that's all I see now.
That is funny, man. That's great.
So
That's great.
they have their own little visions at the point where, and it's on your body, so you're just like, that's totally what I went for. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you
I'm gonna-
do. Well done.
I'm gonna mess with you about that now, right?
Yeah, I know. So let's talk about your stuff. We'll get into the voice acting career here in a little bit, but we want to know about John Swasey. We want to know, what's your fandom? What do you like? We kind of touched up on it with guitar and the music you like and stuff like that, but we want to know what John is like.
Well, favorite movies are top 5 are Jaws, Apocalypse Now, Team America, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein.
I love Team
Nice.
America.
Young Frankenstein is awesome.
I've never seen Apocalypse Now.
Oh man, it's awesome. And then The Godfather, Shawshank. There's a whole bunch of them. There's that list of movies that when you come home and it happens to be on TV, you just stop what you're doing and watch it. I'm gonna.
I have one of those. I have a couple of those, but
Well,
I'm gonna.
We all do.
I'm gonna say this, and I might get some attack for this. And it kind of goes back to an episode of Family Guy, and I couldn't agree more. I don't like The Godfather. I think it was not a good movie for me. I just didn't like it. I love the actors, but it was just like I'm not getting into this.
Well, I will respectfully disagree. I think it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah,
And Godfather 2 is a brilliant movie. But but that's okay. You know, everybody's got their own likes and dislikes. There's nothing you can say about it. I mean, it is what it is. My favorite food is Vietnamese food, pho in particular. I love pho. I love to grill. I'm on a barbecue team. Been on one for 28 years, and I'm a member of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, which is the largest indoor rodeo, I believe, in the country, in the world, maybe, certainly the richest. And it about 30,000 volunteers, and it's a 3-week livestock show and rodeo exposition. And it's where I met my wife and my kids. We're both still on it. 2 of my 3 kids are involved in the rodeo on committees. My third one's about to join, so that's something that's very near and dear to me. And the reason I got involved with it was it's a rodeo and a livestock show, but one of their pillars is education, and they raise money for scholarships. And it's I should know the date, but the 1930s, 1940s maybe, they've given out over $500,000 in scholarships. I mean, like $600-700 million.
Nice.
So it's really, really a good thing. I live in Houston, Texas. That's where I'm from. I've been an actor for 37 years, been doing anime for 27 years. I started out doing television, commercials, sketch comedy, improvisation, that kind of thing, and worked with a lot of cool people. And then one day in 1997, somebody goes, "You ought to do anime." And I was like, "What's anime?" And they said, "It's Japanese animation." I went, "Well, I don't speak Japanese, so I'm out." And they said, "Well, that's okay, because we dub it into English." And it was a little company in Houston called ADV Films. And Matt Greenfield was one of the founders, him and John Ledford. And went and auditioned and got hired. My first show was a show called Golden Boy. And I started doing anime. And to me, it was just another gig. It was it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm finally doing anime. And this is 1997, man. When you want to talk about it being a niche market, they were still coming out on VHS tapes. So I started doing it, and I was just like, why does everybody have blue spiky hair? I don't understand what's going on. And so I did that for several years and started doing more and more and more and meeting other actors. And then I started directing and started working up at Funimation in Dallas, which is about a 4-hour drive north of us, and started doing more shows with them and working and very gradually over the years, it went anime work, other acting work, and it just started to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so fast forward today, ADV is now called Sentai Filmworks, and I work there as a full-time director. We were bought out by AMC networks like Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, that kind of AMC.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm actually an employee of AMC networks. And Sony bought Crunchyroll and Funimation and merged those 2 companies into just Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
we're up in Dallas, and I still do voice work for them. But it's really amazing because really between the 2 companies in Texas, we produce more subbed and dubbed anime than anyone else in North America. And it's kind of wild that the capital of that genre, that field is in Texas. There's a lot done in LA and some done in New York, but the gist of it is done in Texas. So that's kind of cool. But that brings me to where I am now. I never left Texas. and I'm here, there full time, and I live there, work there, and life is great. And I go to conventions almost every week. I know we were talking about maybe trying to set something up in Mississippi, which I'd love to do in Jackson. And there's it's become my life. I mean, it's really all I do. I still do a little bit of voice work for other clients, but 99% of my professional existence is in the anime space. So I love it. I'm thrilled with it. It's great. I have a ball. So here I am.
I mean, if you love doing what you do, it's not work, So I mean that's a plus.
Sometimes dealing with scripts and actors, it is work.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, you're right. You're right about that, Jay. It's just if you're doing what you love to do, then showing up it's just a blast. So in fact, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it's one of those things like it's so, I don't want to say easy, but I'm not trying to build a colony on the moon.
Yeah.
I'm doing anime, so it's not rocket science, but we do the best we can do. We try to put out the very best product we can put out. But we've been doing this. I was talking to Monica Rial about this, and she's another person that's been doing this for 20 plus years. And the whole industry has changed in so many different ways. For one thing, just the number of actors that want to get involved in anime, the number of voice actors that are out there, the number of conventions. When I started doing this in 1997, there might be one or two conventions a month, one or two a month. Now there's 6 or 7 a week. And that doesn't necessarily even count the Comic Cons or whatever. I'm just talking about pure up anime,
Yeah.
and then, but now the worlds have all collided too. I mean, you've got everything from anime to Comic Cons to just trading shows, horror shows. And because anime spans the genre of all of that, because as we all know, anime is everything from Hello Kitty to Hello Kitty. So, and everything in between. So, I've got friends that are anime actors that are going to horror conventions because they're doing Chainsaw Man, or they're doing, they've done some shows that could be considered sort of horror animes. And the fandom has all collided and meshed together, which I think is great. You can go to a Comic Con and see, or you can go to an anime convention. I'm at one now in Oklahoma called SoonerCon, which is one of the original, it's 30 years old.
Yeah.
And dude, they had a whole parade of Star Wars cosplayers walking through the other day, just in a march, and there's Spider-Man and there's Thor and there's, but then there's all these anime characters. Well, if you go to a Comic Con, you see the same thing, you see anime cosplayers, so all of these worlds have collided. And it's really amazing just to see how strong this nerd network has become. Somebody was pointing out in a panel my daughter was doing yesterday on feminism and anime. It's an interesting panel, actually. But back when he was in school, if you watched anime, you got beat up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
Now, football players, basketball players, jocks, big dude, whatever, they're all into anime. So it's really amazing to see how it's changed and evolved over 27 years. And I think that's something that is a real testament to what this genre means to people, because it's not only what it means to people, but this didn't happen overnight. And one of the things that I see, I'm totally getting off topic of your question, but one of the things that I see today is a lot of voice actors that are young that, anime's been in their life their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I didn't get into it till in my 30s. And So it's kind of interesting to see, they get into it and it's like, I want to go from 0 to 60 now. It's like, well, it took me 27 years. So, be patient. But
I'm
they don't
not
want to be, young people don't want to be patient anymore. So, well, I guess young people never want to be patient. I certainly didn't want to be patient, but
Oh yeah.
Hey,
so that's
Tank.
I live in Houston. I've got 3 kids, a dog, a house, one kid out of college, one kid in college, and one kid about to go into college. So
The bills are racking up.
Sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
I do.
Yeah.
I do about last year I did 44 conventions. I think this year I'm going to probably do about 40 to 45 again. So it's it's
46.
just
46, because we're going to get you down here. Don't worry. So, Tank, am I a patient person, man? I think I am.
That is a nice couch that you have right there.
That is a nice
That is-
couch.
No, you are not a patient person.
No,
at
I'm
all.
not.
We're
Okay.
working on that. Though.
You're not.
I have a question. What are you drinking?
Something very tasty.
I can't see it.
Oh,
Ooh,
yep.
some
See?
good classic.
Something very tasty.
I tried to get a 1.75 last night, but Tank talked me out of it. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
'cause,
I'll leave it be.
Yeah, you
Tank?
just need to stick
Tank?
here.
I want
Yes.
you to listen to me. Never do that again.
Yes, sir. I will take that to heart.
If a man wants his Jack Daniels, he wants his Jack Daniels.
I will keep that in mind.
Unless you're like gonna say, like, I want to drink this whole thing and then drive down Main Street naked. Then that was a good thing to stop him.
See, that's why I stopped him, because he probably would have done that.
Yeah, I'm trying to stop. I ended up going with Michelob Ultra because I can control myself when it comes to beer, but when it comes to liquor, Jay's a whole different breed.
I tell my wife sometimes, I'm like, when you're at a party, at a function, whatever, and you're like having some bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, "How many of those have you had?" I said, "I don't know." Because, "Well, I've seen you go to the bar like 5 times, and we've only been here for 30 minutes." Well,
Damn.
here's the best course of action then. Let me continue to go to the bar, and then I'll go up to the room and just pass out. Because at this point, the storm is coming. So there's nothing to stop it except me going to my room.
Yeah.
So I'll just have a few more drinks and I'll exit.
Yeah.
Because I can't just go, well, let me just switch to water and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
The storm is coming,
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to stop it. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yep.
I
I
don't really do
understand.
that. I'm kidding.
But
It's
no,
okay.
going off of what you said, how everything's melded together, I think that's beautiful, because when I was in school, high school, middle school, and all that, it was about the same. I mean, you could watch it, but you get looks, or you get treated different or whatever because you were into it. But now it's all, everybody is essentially one now. You've got jocks, nerds, geeks, dweebs, everybody just hanging out watching, Naruto or My Hero or whatever together, and I mean it's easier now.
Well, I mean, another thing too, when I first started doing this, you had to get your anime on VHS tapes. So you would get anime, you get 4 episodes on a VHS tape.
Yeah.
4 episodes for a
You got a text message.
12 episode series, and the tapes were $25. So to watch the series, you're spending between $75 and $100 just to watch one season of one show.
Yeah.
Now you could rent them, but then again, you got to rent them and stuff. So then a big game changer was when it came out on DVD, because then you could fit a whole season on one disc, which you would also sell for $25. But then that also helped. It was a big bonanza for everybody in the industry, because Then you could come out with the golden edition, the director's cut, the blah blah blah, the reissue, like of Evangelion, man. They milk that thing like crazy. And so, but everyone was like, oh, I got to have that version. I got to have that one. I got to have, and then you could also put extras on the DVDs, which was a big thing to do. Outtakes, whatever it might be. And then, of course, Blu-ray came out, and Blu-ray's been the standard ever since. But then streaming came along. So now you've got streaming and you've got Blu-ray. You've got two different things. And it's interesting because there's several shows that I've directed, Kaikagururi and Vinland Saga, that I directed the home video version, not the streaming version on Netflix. So there's two different versions out there of these shows. And but that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. But it's just so it's just anime now. Like I work at Sentai, and if you come to my table for an autograph, I've got a QR code, and you can click on it and get High Dive, which is our streaming platform, for free for a week. Well, if you get High Dive, and it's only $4.99 a month, if you get High Dive at $4.99 a month, you're going to have access to more anime than you'll ever be able to watch in a lifetime. Now it's all Sentai stuff. So then you go get Crunchyroll, which I don't know how much it is, $7.99 or
$7.99, something like that.
So for for less than $15 a month. Well, and then let's say you want to get you've got Amazon and Netflix. I mean, even that. But for $40 a month, which is less than buying 2 VHS tapes, you can have access to so much flippin' anime, your head will explode.
Yeah.
So it's the accessibility.
Yeah.
Is really been a big game changer. And I think too, the pandemic helped.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
As I say, you can only watch Tiger King so many times. And it's like, well, I think I'll go watch this show in anime. Everyone seems to be talking about it. And anime has, I think, again, I have no scientific data, no clinical data. No, this is all my gut telling me this. But anime was starting to rise a little bit in popularity. Well, the more it rose in popularity, I think the more Japan was like going, dude, we're making more money now with the West getting into anime. We need to make our anime even better. So I'm just noticing, now part of it is we're with AMC, and so we've got deeper pockets, but I'm just noticing the anime we're getting to produce is prettier, better stories, better everything. It's not just because, again, you watch American Western television, you can watch a show like Breaking Bad and go, oh, is that Western television? Well, yes, but so is Steve Harvey, Celebrity Judge.
Yeah.
They're two different shows completely. One's a piece of shit, one's really good. And but we still make them. So the same is true with anime. There's some people that are still making anime that's the animation isn't as much or isn't as tight because they didn't have as much money. But the ones that do have money are making better and better anime, and it's really, now it's like, oh, I could watch this. Yeah, this is beautiful. I could really get my hands around this. So it's just fascinating to me to see how this has just grown into what it is. From a niche, like the size of Rhode Island. Now it's the size of the South. It's huge. It's huge. And we go places all the time, and my wife every now and then will drop a bomb with somebody going, hey, like ask a bartender or a waiter, do you like anime? Oh yeah, I love it. And she'll turn to me and she goes, what shows are you in, John?
Crap.
Free around.
I started talking about him, and the waiter's just freaking out.
That would be me. You know what? Free alcohol.
Right. Oh, dude, we did one time. We were at a store, and like a big box store picking up some stuff for our house. And my wife asked the cashier, "You like anime?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Dina," and she goes, "Now look." And he had like a lanyard on it. It had some sort of anime character. And he goes, she goes, "What's your favorite show?" He goes, "One Piece." And she turns to me, she goes, "You're in One Piece, aren't you, John?" And this guy just goes, "What?" She goes, "Who do you play?" And I said, Crocodile, Sir Crocodile. And he went, "No way." Well, long story short, we got a 20% discount on our purchase.
Nice.
So, that's how I can afford my solid gold house.
I will actually, before I go into it, Tank.
Yes.
I know you want to ask him the burning question.
Which one? I have multiple.
Starts with the G and ends with the stories.
Oh, so one of my all-time favorite animes came out in 2000, 2001-ish. And we found out that Monaco was on it as well. And I just found out last night that you were on it. Good old Ghost Stories.
Oh,
Played
yeah,
the principal. How much fun was that?
Well, that was a blast. I mean, Stephen Foster gave us carte blanche to do whatever we wanted. And he would kind of guide us, but he would say, it would be like, say this, or even if some of the other actors had recorded, is like, listen to what they're saying and just react to it. I mean, it was just total improv freedom. And it was just a hoot. It was a long time ago, so it's kind of hard to remember, but it was just a blast, to have that freedom. And the reason we got to be able to do it was sometimes when you get the license to a show, the company that owns the license will say, "Oh, you want this title? Great, you can have this title, but you must also purchase this title. This title is kind of a nothing title. We don't really know what you do. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but you got to pay for it if you want this one." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's how that came about. So Steve was like, "We can do whatever we want with it. Great, let's do it." So we did that. And if any of these people are watching, I owe about 10 people a copy of this, and I'll send you a copy if y'all are interested. But my friend Kyle Jones, he's another director and an actor at Sentai, and got a very twisted mind, and he's awesome. But we were doing a live action kaiju movie called Gamera 2, Attack of the Legions. And we did the movie, we dubbed it and everything. It was all fine. And then Kyle came up with the idea of, as an extra for the DVD, let's do a 10-minute portion of the movie dubbed as a bunch of Texas rednecks. And we did, but we had to get approval from Japan, the Japanese company in Japan. So we sent them the copy and we said, "Is this okay? Can we do this?" And they wrote back and said, "Not only is it okay, please do the entire movie."
Oh,
that's awesome.
So we dubbed this movie. It's the dubbed the funny version is called Lake Texarkana Gamera, and it's a really just a you hear words like, "That's a big ass turtle," and we peppered it with Kyle recorded this one line that's "Holy crap!" And then we took that recording and peppered it through the movie, kind of like the Wilhelm scream. And so a good drinking game is every time you hear "Holy crap," you take a drink. But anyway, so stuff like that is a lot of fun. We don't really get a chance to do that as much anymore. A lot tighter reins have been put on us, but that was fun. Ghost Stories is fun, and Lake Texarkana was fun too.
Yeah, I would most assuredly love a copy of that if you have.
Same.
I'll
Same here.
I send me your emails and I'll throw you in the loop. I'm going to try to do this tomorrow. I've got about 10 emails. I have to send it in a WeTransfer because it's a pretty big file. But it's funny. It's funny. You can show it to whoever you want.
So the funny thing is that my producer is good friends with Miss Monica, or
That
Miss
is funny.
Monica Real, and
Real.
huh?
Real.
Real.
Like,
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, Miss Monica.
Oh,
if you're listening to this,
no worries. No worries.
But yeah, he's good friends with her. And I met her at My Hero Con. She was very nice, and she's very sweet. And I was like, "So you played the religious girl?" And she just died laughing. She's like, "Yes, I did." And the funny thing about it is my producer and I, we went, and Tank as well, we went to the My Hero Con, and the one thing he asked me was, is there one person that you would do that would finally make you just pack up and get done with this podcast? And which, by the way, I wouldn't pack up, but it would be a dream. And so I think it was two people. It was two people if I could get them on. Number one was Jack Black, and number two was I may be mispronouncing his name as well, but Kyle Hebert.
Kyle Abear.
Hey Bear, yeah.
Just A, no A.
Bear. Okay. I've messaged him before on Instagram, but I'm sure he's busy just like everybody else, and he's just played so many people just like you, and it's just like, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, if I were to have him on, it would be a lot of questions from me, and Tank would not be able to talk.
Well,
so
he's a good guy, man. I've never met Jack Black, but I know Kyle real well. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I've met him once at the Anime Fest over here. He was very nice. I felt like I messed up a little bit because I got a picture signed of Escanor, and I'm like, that's my boy. That's who I strive to be. And he's like, well, he has an 8-pack among an 8-pack, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I actually met him and got him to autograph so Power Rangers did a crossover with Street Fighter, and he does the voice for Ryu. I got him to autograph my morphed Ryu, and once he signed it, I was just fangirl the rest of the
day.
Now we just got to meet you, and then I can add you to this. Hold on. If I meet you, I can add you to this book of just autographs that I have, because framing them was not working for me. So, because framing them, they would always break. They would always fall off my wall. And I said, there's got to be a way. And I ended up getting this binder and just putting them all, and they're organized and they're protected. And I'm like, this is it.
This is the way.
Excellent. That's very cool. Well, we'll make that happen, Jay.
Absolutely.
We'll make that happen. One word. Yeah, I think we ought to do the tavern.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Joe, you hear that, buddy? Dog mud.
And we don't need, we could do it. We could do a pretty quick turnaround on it. I mean, we don't have to wait till, December. I bet we could probably do something in August if they're available.
Oh, buddy, I'm gonna call my producer as soon as we are done with this. you don't have to worry.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
All right.
Right. Well, first round's on me if we do it. So.
Oh, no. We're gonna get you rounds, and we're gonna get you something to eat. We're gonna make sure you love it here.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Just so we don't. Let me just give me a second here. I'm not ignoring you. I'm looking up a date.
He's ignoring us. How dare him?
Look, the man is in a gold house and drives a gold car.
He drives with gold gas.
So I'm gonna just do this. Let's see.
I mean, he is a villain, so I guess ignoring us is kind of the play on.
It's in character.
Yeah, it's in character.
How about that?
What? Okay. Yeah. I see it now. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I imagine, I'd probably need to fly in just because, but we can work it all out. We can work out all the details, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it'd be a blast, and get a couple hundred people to show up, and I think we'll be in business.
There'll be more than a couple hundred, my guy.
Yeah,
If they realize you're there.
Because Austin St. John and Walter Emmanuel Jones from the Power Rangers showed up there one night after the Mississippi Comic Con, and apparently the roof blew off the place.
Yeah.
Those are good guys, man. That's funny.
I love those guys. They were so nice and so professional. Yeah. Like we went up and handed them the card. Walter denied us, but he did it in a poise, and he was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't. My manager has to allow me to do this much views, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay," because
you were trying to get him to do what?
To come on here.
Oh,
yeah. And it's not the first time I've heard that, and I've been like, no, I would never come on here. I'm the one that reaches out to people. So people have been rude about it, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. It's part of the business. But Walter and a couple more people, like Kaido, the guy that voices Kaido from One Piece, they were both very nice about it. They had poise about it. They're like, hey, I'm sorry, this is kind of what our agent wants us to do. And I'm like, understandable. We look forward to seeing you in the future. Mm-hmm. So that's the way it should be with everybody. And you shouldn't be rude just because I'm asking something.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be rude at all.
Yeah.
I mean, just you've got a gig. You want to do something. You're trying to find a guest. Either you want to go on or you don't, but you don't have to be rude about it. What's the point in being rude? How dare you ask me to publicly put myself out there to the public, my fans? Damn you!
How dare you,
Jay? I mean, I don't know. That's just me, but
I've been blocked. I've been blocked just because I have like this long. You saw the long message that I sent you because I've typed it out numerous times, and I try to be as professional as I can, and I'll say, hey, my name's Jay, blah blah blah, and then they'll just block me, and I'm like,
That's weird. I mean, if you said, hi, my name's Jay, and I'd like to. Or my name's Jay. I have podcast What You Do. I'd probably block you.
That's fair. What you do.
If it's not English, I'm not gonna. Screw what. It's a robot. You're not. What are you doing? But I mean, I could tell you were a straight up dude. So I'm like, no problem, man.
I was excited once because see, I knew you from 4 things, which was My Hero Academia, One Piece, Hohenheim from Full Metal Alchemist. What was the 4th one? I cannot think of it.
Lord Death from Soul Eater.
That's it. There you go. Yes.
I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it's funny. I think of like Hohenheim from Full Metal and Soul Eater, Lord Death. Full Metal and Soul Eater to me are like gateway animes. You know what I mean? Like people watch those. They're great shows. And if you watch those shows, you're going to go like, all right, I could get into this. Let me try another one. As opposed to watching To Love Ru as your first anime. And it's filled with nothing but fan service. And you're just like, oh, no, this is stupid and corny. But if you watch a good show, I think, and those are 2 of them, I think those are, and they're older too.
Yeah.
My, maybe this is what I need to do. Cause I really want to get, I'd love it if there was a Funko Pop of Lord Death, but there's not. I'd love one if there was of Hohenheim, but there's not. And I just feel like, you know what, if we could get that done, then I could live in a house of solid gold.
You probably could.
With a solid car, gold car.
Solid gold car. That's right.
Those 2 specifically, that would that would suffice for all your dreams, probably.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question. Was it you play a lot of first off, you are a bad dad for leaving Al and Edward. So just letting you know. Now, um, was it hard to play? You know, you play certain people like Lord Death is quirky. He's dumb, kind of let loose. Hohenheim is a little bit more serious, and then you know you have people like that where you're going from range to range. But then you played an evil villain, more dark toned, more I guess more bass into your voice. Was that a little difficult for my hero or?
No, not vocally. I've had the good fortune ever since the start of my career to kind of have a chameleon voice. I mean, I can do a lot of different voices and a lot of different characters. And my wife says if Chris Sabat is the Tom Cruise of anime, I am
Facts.
I'm the Kevin Bacon.
I like Kevin Bacon.
Well, that's good because
I
I
like
like
Kevin
Kevin
Bacon.
Footloose is amazing.
I like Kevin. Hey, and they were both in A Few Good Men. I like them both. Don't get me wrong. I think they're both wonderful, and I love Kevin Bacon. And one day I would love to meet Kevin Bacon and say, dude, I am the anime version of you, because you could do 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I think you could do 6 degrees of John Swasey. But nonetheless, as far as doing the different voices, I've done lots of different characters, lots of different voices. And according to Anime News Network, I'm the most prolific male voice actor in North America.
Nice.
That and $5 will get you a Starbucks. But Monica Rial's number one, Lucy Christian, then John Swasey. And it's a nice honor. That's great. But it's afforded me, I don't do the lead trope type characters in animes because I don't have that's not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But I can go from, Lord Death like this to Salvador like this in Borderlands 2 and kind of everything in between. So a lot of the characters that I do now I've gotten sort of typecast, if you will, in doing villains and dads. Sometimes they're the same guy, but that's fine, so I don't really, it's not a stretch for me. It's just something that I can do. And I'm very grateful to feel that I'm very blessed that I'm able to do that. But that's, every actor, especially the ones that have been doing it as long as I have, we all kind of have that, well, this is a character, let's get Swasey to do it. Or this is something, let's get Monica to do it. Let's get Lucy to do this. There's nothing they can't do, and let's just put them in that position because we know they're going to nail it. And that's a very honored. I'm very humbled to even be associated with those actors because we're all good friends. We all came up at the same time, but they're amazingly talented and very humble. And the thing is we just have kind of this is our wheelhouse of actors and voices, or not actors, but this is our wheelhouse of voices and characters we can do. And that's what we're going to get cast as. And so it's really not a stretch to go from one to the other or anything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Tank, you got anything? I don't want to cut you off again.
You're good, man. So, going through everything you've done so far between the movies and anime and everything, you've done a lot of video games, and most notably, I keep seeing Dodoria. So,
Dodoria.
How was that going?
Well, that's fine. I haven't done some video games. I just did a video game for All for One, actually, for my hero that ought to be out soon. But I haven't done Dodoria in a while. But Dodoria is just such a fun character. I wish that there was a way to, resurrect Dodoria and bring him back for some sort of Genyu showdown, just some whatever. I don't know. I mean, that's one thing about anime. It doesn't matter if you die or not. You can always come back.
Yeah.
We found a finger of Dodoria and we were able to regenerate him. And here he is again.
That sounds about right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, Dodoria is a fun one. It's a fun one. I'm real interested to see, there's y'all familiar with Team 4-Star?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
We very much are.
Yeah. So those, I've never seen it, but those are good guys. I've met them before and I really like them. And I know there's some controversy over their abridged stuff. And, to me, that's like Ghost Stories or like Texarkana Gamera. They're just, it's a fan thing. They're doing it and it's funny,
Yeah.
and they're not selling it. They're just doing it, putting it out there. So, but there are, some people are like, you got to stop doing that and everything. But the thing is some people might get to Dragon Ball via Team 4-Star. Like they watch that and they go, oh, that's funny. Oh, this is something from an original. Well, let's go watch the original. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you actually can attract more. I mean, I'm kind of the, there's no such thing as bad publicity kind of thing. That's not really true. There's some voice actors who have gotten some really bad publicity for things and it's not helping them at all. So, but it's, things like that. I'm just like, dude, that's free advertising for you. Why wouldn't you embrace it? And I think also when when you do things like that, it's also it's a form of it's a flattery. It's admiration. I love this product so much. I love this property so much. I wanted to put a twist on it because why not? Not because, oh, this thing sucks. We're going to go do something with it and make it better. It's like, no, we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to do something fun with it. It's like, to me, it's no different than rappers, sampling songs and mashups and all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing, so.
I mean, in a sense, it's like now I'm 30 now and growing up with that, with Abridged, me and Tank will just be in a random store and we'll be walking down the aisle, be like, Vegeta, 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 and he'll be like, God damn it, Nappa. So, but that's the kind of stuff we do, and I agree with what you're saying. It's a form of flattery because we can quote that stuff, we can do that stuff, and we are big fans of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball and that franchise, and that we never took it like that. We're like, oh, this is funny. We're gonna watch a new twist on it. And then, matter of fact, I just showed my niece the first episode of it, and she likes Dragon Ball as well, and she absolutely loved the abridged version. So I don't think people need to flag them or hate on them, because I guarantee you most of those people, now I've never met them, but I guarantee you most of those people are Dragon Ball fans. So
yeah, exactly.
Well,
and most of them are going to want to go see the original so they know what the hell the context is of the funny version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I look at it like I personally love parodies because, I mean, number one, like y'all are saying, it can get you to the source material. So people could watch Team 4-Star and then end up going to see Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. But a lot of the times, if you watch the parodies, yeah, they're hilarious, but they can offer a different take on the way the story plays out. Because some of them will have their story set in stone, so to speak, like they have to go this direction. But if you watch the parody, it plays with that story, and there could have been an episode where Goku went Majin, and Vegeta stayed true. I mean, that would have been awesome in my opinion. So it opens up the possibilities of what could happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just like, we've all said this, you're honoring it. You're not making fun of it. It's a way to praise it. It's a way to give it adoration and lift it up, Hey, here's a little funny take. And Tank, you just said this. It's like a parody song.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Weird Al Yankovic. People love Weird Al Yankovic, but they love the songs because they think they relate it. They're able to relate it to the original version, which they also loved. But they don't go, "How dare you ruin Michael Jackson?" Nobody ruined anybody, except the Doctor. He ruined Michael Jackson.
Oof.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, it's facts though.
it's I don't know.
I mean, the way I see it is it works. Like for example, I don't think this was Team 4-Star. Sword Art Online abridged. I watched Sword Art, and I personally like the abridged way better than the original. And it's nothing against the actual anime. It's just I like humor. I like to laugh. And shut up, Power Rangers. Anyway, another thing about it is I agree with what do I call you, John, Mr. Swasey?
Call me douchebag. I don't care.
All right, what douchebag said? He's like, "Hi, how are you?" Like for example, Abridged made Goku stupid, very stupid, and looking back on the original Dragon Ball, he kind of was stupid. Like he was kind of went over his head. Sorry, Sean, I love you. But anyway, yeah, it just it kind of worked out even with the abridged version.
Yeah. Well, I think we beat that horse enough.
That's fair. So let's I got a couple more questions if you're down for it.
Yeah. I got a little bit. I got a few more minutes, but I got to get myself packed and down to the convention, and we got to check out of the hotel and all that. But I got a little more time.
Okay. So
I'll say it this way: I've got this much Jack Daniels left.
Jeez. he said I got this much left. Well, I guess we can, if you want to, we can end it off, and we can ask for your socials. You can.
No. I have.
Okay, you got some more. Okay, good.
Yes, there are three things that I would like to, I guess, ask /
Yeah, no, we've got more time, guys. We got more time. I'm fine.
Okay. Well, the first thing, Jay, you brought it to my attention earlier. We had a fan reach out to us,
yes,
and ask if we could do something.
Yep.
What did they ask?
They said, I don't care what he says, just make him say something in Lord Death's voice. And I said, I will see what I can do.
So we had a fan reach out.
What do you want me to say? I have no idea. Where's your fan? Tell your fan to be at that tavern, or I'll be forced to give them a Reaper chop.
That is awesome.
Her name is Courtney.
Oh, Courtney. I like Courtney. Yes, that's a nice name.
I love that.
Meet Courtney one day.
I'll tell her that you possibly can be coming down to the tavern, and she'll hopefully be able to meet you.
That'd be great.
Yep. I do have another question regarding the voice acting. Do you happen to know the Muffin Man? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
dude, I do that all the time. I do that kind of stuff all the time. I'll start a. So do you? And it'll make me think of like a phrase from a movie or a catchphrase or anything like. Do you know the Muffin Man? Whatever. Mm-hmm. And I do that all the time. That's very funny.
Me and my wife will be in the living room, and I'll be like, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" We'll just do the whole quote from Shrek, and it's great. Okay, back on topic. Was it difficult? Because I know, and I'm a huge fan of Full Metal. So I know Hohenheim wasn't very, I guess, prominent, but he did come on and he did talk. So was that a good role, or is that something that you didn't like because he was only in like a few episodes at the very end?
No. I loved Hohenheim. I mean, I don't ever look at a role and go, well, he's not in this very much. I don't really want to do him, he's in, I thought he was in quite a bit of Brotherhood, isn't he? Is it just the last few episodes?
I might have to rewatch it. I know he
It's
didn't
such
come
a long
in.
time for me
Yeah.
to remember, but I remember it sure seemed like we recorded a lot.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he's a very I love the character. And he's one of those dads, kind of like not as bad as Gendo from Evangelion, but he's just one of those dads, he's in a way, he's trying to do the best he can, and
Yeah.
there's one line he's got, like, give me one chance to try to be the dad I should have been, and that's a paraphrase, but it's they're trying to do their best, and I just love that. Being a dad, we fall all the time, and we fail, and we think we're doing our very best, and we're looking out for our kids and our family, and we fall short. And I think he's a very real type of father in that way. Now he falls short a lot, but he's, in the point of, almost being an absent father, but he was such a fun character to do. And I thought the way the story ended was beautiful and sad and touching, and I was just glad to be a part of it. I was glad that I was able to do Brotherhood. The original Hohenheim is Scott McNeil. He did the original Full Metal, and then I did Brotherhood.
Right.
And I mean, you don't really, I mean, as actors, we don't look at, I don't think, I mean, screen time could equal, oh, I'm on all the time, I'm a popular character, ergo I'm going to sell a lot of prints at a convention. Well, yeah, that's fine. But dude, Hohenheim, I've run out of Hohenheim at this convention. I mean, he's a popular, characters are popular, and it's not necessarily associated with screen time and line count. You know what I mean? So I think it's more, I think characters like Hohenheim, Lord Death, any character that I do, any character that anybody does, that character connects somehow with a fan, and that fan latches onto that character and just loves him or her.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter how many lines you have or how big the character is. If they have some moment, and I've experienced this numerous times, and it's very humbling. But when you have some moment where a fan is watching it and they go, oh my God, that I connect with that. That reminds me of my relationship with my father, or that, I mean, we've have kids say, I watched your performance and it kept me, from taking my life, or whatever, it helped me in a dark space. It hurt when I was in a dark place. This pulled me out of it. I mean, and you're just like, oh my God. That's so touching, and for a long time, as a voice actor, people would come up to me and go, "Oh my God, I love your work. I love your work so much. You do so. I love it. I love it." And our initial reaction, because we're not divas, because we're just like, oh, come on, it's no big deal. It's just a voice, it's not. Come on, get over it. I'm a person just like you, blah blah blah. And while I understand and appreciated the humility of that, and not trying to be a prima donna, but I also realized that, when you meet somebody that's a fan, you may have had some profound impact on their life that you're not even aware of. And so when they come up and meet you and they just go, oh my gosh, you've changed. I love what you do. I love it. Then who am I to steal their joy of meeting me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I'm not going, that's right. Look at me. I don't mean, I don't mean that at all. What I mean is, though, if you're a fan and you wanted to meet me, I'm glad, and I want to meet you, and I want you to soak it up, man. Let's enjoy this moment together. And yeah, you bet. Because I mean, God, if I met, Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead, man, I'd be like, I love you so much, And so I would want that. I would want that response from him to be, dude, yeah, nice to meet you, whatever. No, I'd want it to be, dude, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for being a fan, man. And, I'm really glad that you like it. And, that's why I love coming to conventions, because it's a chance to really connect with fans and meet them and have some FaceTime and interaction and not just let me sign this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's, to me, that's not where it's at. Now, I'm not also somebody who has 5,000 people waiting in line for 8 hours, so where you really don't have a choice. You've got to just,
Yeah.
But I enjoy the interaction with the fans. And I just, to me, giving them that moment is very, very important, and giving them that time, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be at that table. I wouldn't be at that tavern. I wouldn't be on this podcast if it weren't for the fans who love what I do. So I have to give back to them. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's the way everybody should be. I'm just saying that's just my opinion. I don't, it's kind of like the old, when people go, well, you're a role model. You say, hey man, I didn't sign up for that. It's like, well, you kind of did. When you became a star, when you became a celebrity, this is the path you've chosen. That kind of comes along with it. You don't get to pick and choose what you want.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and I would never begrudge anybody for their own opinion. But for me, I'm just like, no, it kind of, that's part of the territory. That's part of the world that you've chosen. To me, it's like going, I'm a roofer. Great. Well, here's a hammer. Oh, no. I don't touch nails. Well, that's a problem. Because nails are what hold the damn thing together. So I just think that for actors, we just need to, be, and my daughter said it best. She goes, last night at dinner, she goes, at the end of the day, and she's somebody, she's not up here. She's brand new, doesn't have a whole lot of roles yet, but she's got some fans.
Yeah.
But she's like, at the end of the day, I'm at a table at a convention meeting people who want to meet me. And I'm doing this. I can't bother to give them the time of day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on now. This is a no-brainer. We're just, and I most actors I know, almost all of them. I mean, I've never met an actor that was not this way. But we're just grateful and humbled that we even get to do this, I mean, it's just, it is, when we get together, it is not lost on us that we're just like, I don't know. I'm just thankful to be here. It's like, I can't believe this is so, because when we started doing this, man, 27 years ago, brother, we never thought this isn't why we got involved.
Yeah.
We did it because it was an acting gig. We did it because it was another opportunity to perform our craft and hone our skills. But we never did it, man. I mean, even when I first started doing it, conventions were like, we'd like to have you at the convention. We'll either fly you out or we'll put you up. And I was like, well, dude, I got a family. I'm not giving up a weekend to go buy my own plane ticket so you can put me up at a hotel so I can go meet a bunch of people and sign free autographs. I don't want to give my family up.
Yeah.
But then it started to become more of a business. And then as it grew and grew and grew, I started to realize, I think we all did. We started to realize, oh my gosh, I had no idea this fandom was out here. I didn't know it was so big. I'll give you a great example. When I get invited to a convention in Sulphur, Louisiana, my wife says, "Have fun." When I get invited to a convention in Dublin, Ireland, my wife goes, "Here are my bags." So we're flying over to Dublin, Ireland, and Tank, the cap you've got on, I can see a little symbol on the cap.
Yeah, it's the one beside him.
Okay. Well, that symbol on the cap there you've got knows more about anime than my wife does. And when we were flying over to Dublin, we were having a drink, and I was just like, I got to just tell you something. I know we're going to Dublin. It's a lot of fun. And I know you've never been to an anime convention. So let me just tell you, I'm just going to say it straight up. But in the world of anime, I'm kind of a big deal. And my wife's drinking. She's like, doing a spit take and all this. I said, well, I'm just saying that's why we got invited, because the voice actors are celebrities. And we, that's what, and then we get off the plane in Ireland, we get our luggage, we go through customs, and we come out into the lobby, and there's like people with signs that read, "We love you, John Swasey. Welcome to Ireland." And my wife is like, "Oh my God." Anyway, I said, I told you, this is what I'm saying. So, respect the fan.
It's like, I told you so.
Well, see, I got to agree with you on that, because in my opinion, fans hold a lot of the power, because obviously without fans, regardless of the product put out, it wouldn't go anywhere. But at the same time, we sit back, we watch anime or listen to the music or, what have you. And I've had a few songs or a few animes that have pulled me out of dark places. And the voice actors, whether they know it or not, like you just said, have that ability to help, and it's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. Same exact thing here.
Guys, I could not agree more. And I think for me, and probably for a lot of the actors, it's kind of a foreign territory for us,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done film, I've done television. Have you ever seen the movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes, I love that movie.
I'm the beer delivery guy, the guy that delivers the keg of beer. That, I don't know if you remember that scene, but
no, I remember.
I've never seen it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, that's okay. But it's a small but pivotal role that changes the course of the party and the movie and all this. But I just don't think any of us ever anticipated or even dreamed. It's not like we didn't anticipate it. We just never even thought about it, that this has an effect on people, and this has a very cathartic effect on people. And you're like, wow, so I did not know this meant something to you. I mean, and again, it's one thing to like it. That's fine. But I'm talking about a much more profound, no, it's not that I liked it. It's like, this had an effect on my life in a very positive way. And when you hear stuff like that, it's quite humbling, but also it's very rewarding. It's very, it's nice. It's a very nice thing, to know you had a positive impact on somebody. I mean, we live in a crazy world, man. And if you know that you've had a positive impact on somebody's life, not to sound cliche, but if I could just reach one person, but it is that. It's like, what, if we could all reach one person,
We're totally not cliche, are we?
Funny. It's funny that you bring that up, because I was about to say, going off of what you said about how y'all get together and just sit there and be like, I didn't think it would turn out like this. Me
That's
and
how we
Jay
are.
have said that multiple times.
Multiple.
We started this April of this year, so we just hit our 3 month mark. And if you had told either one of us this time last year that we'd have you on the show, or any of the other people we've had on, I would have told you were nuts. But at the end of the day, what
Well,
we
you are
want.
nuts.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
I'm nuts.
We know.
I hang out with
We're
him.
all nuts. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
I
But
will. Oh,
at the
sorry.
end of the day, it's like you said, just reaching out to that one person. If somebody turns our show on and their day is horrible and they, you know, do a 180 and start laughing and having a good day after listening to us, that's what we want.
Right. Right.
Right.
That's absolutely it, man. Tank, you've nailed it on the head, babe. That's exactly what it is. You get that one person, and you may never even know. You may never even hear
We'll
from
be
them.
happy about it.
But it's good to know that it's doing good.
Yeah.
It's doing good. It's making people laugh and making people happy. And there's no better thing in the world to me than that.
Absolutely.
I have said for a long time, and one of the things I love about anime conventions is it reminds me a lot of going to a Grateful Dead concert. One of the things I love about going to a Grateful Dead concert is, number one, the music. I love the music. But everyone at the Grateful Dead concert is there for one reason, to just to celebrate the music and life, and lift each other up and support each other and just love each other. Nobody cares what you look like. Nobody cares how you're dressed. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody cares. Just, dude, we're all here to have a good time, and
Yeah.
not hurt each other, but just have a good time. And I think an anime convention is the same way. Everyone's here to lift each other up. I mean, as we all know, the anime community is made up of everyone from people on the spectrum to LGBT to nerds to athletes to, it's huge, but nobody is here to judge anybody,
Absolutely.
and we're all here to just go, yeah, that's cool, man. Good
I
on
love that anime. Yeah.
Good on you, and I've said this and I'll say it till I die, I guess, but I think the world could get a good lesson on how to get along by going to an anime convention.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So, go nerds.
Go nerds. Well, before you go, because I know we got to wrap this up, I will ask you, if you want to, you can name out your socials. That way people will follow you. So yeah, if you want to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. I don't do Twitter, but I'm on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow me on those. I also have the Voices of John Swasey. You can follow me on that on Facebook. I've got a children's book called Adventure. It's actually called The Jungleberg Children's Reading Community, and our first book is called Zeke Gets Glasses, and that's something I've been working on. Although I have not been giving it the due attention it needs. So, but it's a cool little children's book, and it kind of came out of anime conventions. It deals with things that kids deal with that to them it seems like a mountain. The adults are like, "Would you get over it and just we're going to get you glasses," But to the kid, it's a big deal, and so it kind of deals with stuff like that. I do have. It's not out yet, but just keep your eye open for it in the next few months. But we'll have our website up called Comfort Wheel Productions, and it'll feature our turtle movie, another movie that we dubbed, a show that we're working on called Zeke and Zerlon, which is about a spacecraft, an alien spacecraft that crash lands into a trailer park in Texarkana, Texas, and puts his spaceship up on blocks. And his neighbor is a guy named Zeke, and they just talk about stuff, sitting around a baby pool, drinking beer. And so that's kind of fun. And I got a few other projects that are coming along, but we got to get it launched. We got a podcast we're trying to do called Bottom of the Barrel with me and Kyle and Jay. It's a lot of fun, man. So anyway, a lot of things coming up in the future. I wish I had more accurate information to give you, but it's all in a very nebulous poopa stage right now. So.
If you ever need guest stars on your new podcast,
I got it.
The last two things I would like to ask you, and then we're done, I promise. The one thing I would like to ask is, I know you play the Undertaker and Black Butler, so could you say hello to my wife Dixie, because she loves that character?
Hello, Dixie. This is the Undertaker. It's so nice to meet you. I'm sorry I didn't meet you in person, but perhaps we can rectify that. And if we do, I can fit you for your very own coffin. What do you say to that, Dixie?
Oh, she's gonna die.
That's
The last thing is, man, will you follow the Hesitation Station podcast?
Of course I will. How do I do that?
You're on Instagram. You should know.
Oh,
No, I'm
okay.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, dude. You're looking at Mr. Non-Social. I don't. One time I told my son, I said, it's gonna happen to you too. And he's 19. I said, it's gonna happen to you when you get tired of all the technology. You've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
I said, for me, I'm kind of at that point, and there needs to be a term for somebody who's just, I'm done with technology. I don't need this bottle cap to make a phone call and do my laundry. I just don't. And my son goes, oh, there's a term for that, Dad. I said, oh, there is? What? And he goes, boomer.
Grounded.
Get out of my house. Get out of the house that Boomer pays for.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, I'll follow you guys on Instagram. No problem.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
We really appreciate you coming on and just talking to us, and we had a blast.
Fellas, it's been a real blast. Cheers.
I have one request.
Uh-oh.
And then we'll be done.
We just said
I'm sorry.
Lay it on the bank.
Would you be willing to reach out to people as All for One and tell them to follow us?
Yes. Hello, world. This is All for One. I hope you're doing well, and I want you to know that all is well, for I am here. However, I need you to do me one small but very significant favor. I need you to follow the Hesitation Station. I'm waiting. Do it now, or I will obliterate everything you have protected. Cheers.
Cheers.
Attention passengers, this is your conductor speaking. We are departing the Hesitation Station. Please stand clear of the closing doors.